Sean "Diddy" Combs sentenced to 50 months in prison and $500,000 fine in landmark federal case in a striking fall from grace. Sean "Diddy" Combs, once considered one of the most powerful figures in the music and entertainment industry, was sentenced to 50 months in federal prison and fined $500,000 after being convicted on charges related to transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution. The high-profile case has sent shockwaves across the music world, celebrity circles, and the broader public. A sentence that reverberates beyond the courtroom. The judge's decision, while not the maximum prosecutors had hoped for, represents a firm stance from the justice system that wealth and celebrity are not shields against accountability. Prosecutors had pushed for over 11 years, arguing that Combs had built a system around himself that allowed exploitation to flourish, allegedly targeting vulnerable individuals and silencing critics through legal threats and financial influence. Though Combs was not found guilty on charges of sex trafficking or racketeering, the conviction on federal transportation charges still paints a grim portrait of a man once celebrated for his cultural impact, business savvy, and artistic legacy. Diddy's emotional plea in a tear-filled courtroom address, Combs took responsibility for his actions, apologized to the victims and to his own children, and expressed deep remorse. His statement, though moving, has been met with mixed reactions from the public and advocates. Some see it as a necessary first step toward redemption, others view it as performative, a calculated bid for sympathy after years of alleged abuse and manipulation. The courtroom was tense and emotional throughout. Supporters of Combs watched solemnly, while others in attendance, including victim advocacy representatives, maintained a watchful, skeptical presence. Many of them said justice had only been partially served. A carefully curated defense in a bid to humanize their client, Combs' legal team played a video montage featuring family photos, charity work, and testimonials from people who describe him as generous, caring, and deeply committed to his children. They presented Combs as a flawed man who had been surrounded by opportunists and bad influences, who had struggled with addiction and mental health issues, and who was now genuinely trying to change. However, the prosecution countered that no amount of image rehabilitation could erase the experiences of those who were harmed, many of whom came forward with harrowing allegations of coercion, violence, and manipulation. Celebrity, power, and a cultural reckoning. This case is more than just a legal matter. It's a cultural flashpoint. Combs was not just a rapper or producer. He was an institution, a mogul whose empire spanned fashion, spirits, reality TV, and more. His influence shaped hip-hop, redefined black entrepreneurship, and set trends across the globe. Yet the verdict sends a clear message. Celebrity status does not exempt anyone from consequences. The #MeToo movement and similar social reckonings have already brought down powerful men in Hollywood, media, and politics. This case could further embolden others in the entertainment industry, especially survivors, to speak out, even against untouchable figures. The road ahead. Combs will serve just over 4 years in federal prison, with time already served credited. After release, he'll be placed under supervised probation and required to undergo continued counseling. Financially, the $500,000 fine is unlikely to severely impact his vast wealth, but the real cost may be reputational. Major brands have already begun distancing themselves. Music stations and streaming platforms are re-evaluating his content. Business partners are cutting ties. And public opinion is split between those willing to separate the artist from the man, and those who see his actions as disqualifying. Final thought: the sentencing of Sean "Diddy" Combs marks the closing of a chapter, but it may also be the beginning of something deeper, a continued reckoning in the worlds of music and entertainment. It's a moment where accountability met fame head-on, and this time, accountability didn't blink. Whether this moment leads to further transparency, reform, or genuine healing for those affected remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the era of invincibility for powerful celebrities is fading.